Alright, and this is the third one. So me and Nick have switched into doing this thing, basically, to solve the ladder anxiety problem. We say, I'm just going to play until I get 3 losses, and then every day we're going to have 3 losses, and we're going to tell each other about them, and that'll be it. So if you go on a winning streak, you might play 15 games before you get your 3 losses, and if you go on a losing streak, you might only play those 3 games, and you lose all 3 of them. And the cool thing about that is, a lot of the times, like, a big factor in StarCraft 2 is how tired you are. And, you know, just how brain farty you are. And so if you play for a set number of losses, then on the days when you're really on, you get to play more games, and the days where you're really off, you get to play less. So, like, automatically works out really well. So this is my 3rd loss for the day, and this was a TVP. I scouted already. I saw the super saved up Chrono Boost. I saw him using a Chrono Boost on this Warp Gate tech, so I knew he was doing a 4 Warp Gate or a 3 Warp Gate. I think he is doing a 4 Warp Gate. People never use 2 Chrono Boosts on Warp Gate technology and have 2 early gateways and a super ton of Chrono Boost saved up unless they're doing exactly what he's doing. So I knew it was coming. I put down the bunker. I got an early tank as quick as I could. And I just didn't pull SCVs. So this would have been an easy win if I just actually pulled the SCVs. What happened was I assumed he would come at 6:30 with the 4 Warp Gate. And when he didn't come, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's a Warp Prism. So I pulled half of my dudes back into my mineral line, and I was like, maybe it's a 4 Warp Gate with a Warp Prism thing. And then he came to the front, and my dudes were way out of position. I didn't have SCVs pulled. And he just killed me. Killed me straight up, bro. Killed me straight up. I think in order to win this, I should have not gotten these reactor cores so early. I should have built the tank before the starport, and I should have pre-pulled workers, maybe made a second bunker. And most importantly, I should have had an SCV or a Marine out here on the field to see if he took his expo, because the follow-up to see that there's no expo at 5 minutes and 30 seconds would have really reinforced that he's doing, even though I was pretty sure he was doing this, I wasn't positive, because he could have just thrown down an expo. I should have checked. And then this would have been an easy win, bro. Would have been an easy win. It should have been an easy win anyway. I was way too gung-ho about getting this tech up. I shouldn't have put down these 2 reactor cores and gotten the starport so early. And I definitely should have pulled workers to repair. I think the way this played out, even if I'd had all of my guys there and workers to repair, right here, I've got no tank. I've got exactly 6 Marines plus a full bunker. Even if I'd pulled SCVs, I think I probably would have lost at this point, and that's just because I got these reactor cores too early and I got the tank too late. Oh, actually, I have even more Marines. Maybe I would have been, no, 600 against 1200. That's the way Protoss 4-Gate works, is these aren't good units he's throwing at you, he's just throwing a crap ton of them at you, and if your spending benchmark is way off, like it was for me this game because I double teched really quick, you're just not going to be able to withstand it, bro. So I haven't lost to a 4-Gate in a long time. This was impressive of him to actually beat me with a 4-Gate, and it was because of some simple, stupid mistakes that I made. All 3 of my losses this game were due to simple, stupid mistakes. And so this is why I usually don't show losses, because how much can you really learn from, hey, I made a stupid mistake. But, you know, 3 losses a day, that'll keep you playing. Do it. Do it to it. Hey guys, so this was a TVT in the Masters League, and this is, I'm going to go through this quickly because I just made a stupid, simple mistake and then just threw away the game because of that mistake, and so it's not really worth going into super detail. So what happened is I went for 16 gas, like I normally do, in order to get the fast command center on the low ground, super ballsy, that kind of thing. This is a build I've been using in TVT ever since I spotted a replay pack from Kawhi Rice where he demonstrated it in like 20 straight games against various other things, and it always worked out. And I was like, oh, I should try that. And at the time I didn't like it, but now I kind of... Every build has something that just straight up beats it, and you're just saying, you know, if he does anything else, though, I'm going to be okay. And it seems like, I mean, yes, this type of build is super vulnerable to Reaper Hellion medevac push or a immediate tank push. But it's awesome against everything else, and it's just like a straight up win if he goes for any other one base. So I like it. And anyway, I didn't get the command center, and that's the big mistake. I delayed my gas in order to get the command center, and then I was like, alright, I have 300 minerals, let me throw down these 2 extra racks, and I just kept following the build as if I had the command center, but then I don't. So my mineral income isn't high enough to do anything, and I'm like, okay, this is just ridiculous. What do I do from here? Do I add a late command center and then try to catch up? That probably would have been the best move, because it's not like his command center was super early anyway. I think I'm actually only 4 workers behind on production, and he killed 4 workers. So I'm basically exactly even up until the 9-minute mark on production. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to play out this game. I just totally didn't do my build at all. So I'm going to, even though I have 500 gas in the bank, I'm going to wait till +1 finishes and then do a +1 and stim timing push with all my SCVs. But unfortunately, he went for double bunker siege tank, and he has stim on his dude. So it just wasn't even close, and totally crushed me. Totally crushed. Good job by him, bad job by me. And then I told him the story. And then that was the end. So, you know. Hey, this is the TVP in the Masters League between Free Winds and Silhouette. At the moment, Free Winds is probably rank 15, meaning Silhouette is somewhere close to there, probably Mon. So I went for the 2-1-1 like I do. Difference being that I forwent Marauders, Stim, and Concussive Shells and Combat Shields in exchange for more tanks. All the gas I would have used, the 500 gas I would have used on those upgrades, instead I used on tanks. Big problem this game, I scouted with my medevac, saw his expansion, I see expansion, and decided to pull up and go right then, which was the wrong move. Usually when you see an expansion, you want to pull up and go 3 minutes after that. So my initial engagement right here, I feel like at this point my army is big enough to kill his army, but not through this gap, and I'm afraid of his sentries. But if I'd taken a closer look, I would have seen that he didn't have force fields on his sentries anyway, so I should have just gone, and I might have won at this point. Because my army is about 600 bucks smaller than his, but the composition that I've gone for is crazy good against Immortal Stalker. I mean, Marines are great against Immortals and Stalkers. Banshees are great against Immortals and Stalkers. SCVs tanking with a medevac floating overhead, great against SCVs, Immortals and Stalkers. So yeah, I should have gone. The longer I wait, the longer his income is slightly higher than mine, and his army spending is still behind mine, but it's slowly playing out. So finally we engage. Fight basically breaks even for a little while, but yeah, by the end of the fight, it's basically been an even exchange, but his army was like 3 stalkers bigger than mine, just a tiny bit bigger than mine. So at the end there, when I started to pull back, he suddenly gets to pull way ahead. So this is an extremely close game. I think I would have won it if I waited 1 more minute before starting the attack. You always want to start the attack when you have enough workers so that what you leave behind will be able to fully fund your building. So I made this mistake of getting the double reactor core and then going before it was done. When you start your double reactor core, you either want to start it super early, which will delay your other tech, or if you start it here at 8 minutes, right now I'm not building out of these 2 Rexes, so my money is piling up and piling up and piling up and piling up. So I should have waited until I'd had 2 rounds of Marines off of both of these, so that my money would have gone down and I would have actually had a reasonable army size. So right now, in 2 more rounds of Marines, I'll have a reasonable army size, and that would have allowed me to still attack before he got Colossus Tech, because he wasn't even going for Colossus Tech. So I definitely should have waited. See, now I've finally cut up on my money, but it's too late. Like, this second and third wave of dudes is much bigger than the waves before it, and if I'd gone now instead of before, then it would have been much better. Also, the number of workers I left back home mining is only 20, and that's not full saturation. You want 20 on minerals and 6 on gas, not 20 total. So I'm 6 workers short, and that's just because I picked up and left too early. I should have waited exactly 1.5 more minutes for my 6 more workers, and then I would have had full saturation back home, and I would have had 2 rounds of production off of these racks, and everything would have been beautiful. So this is a very close game. I made some simple mistakes, and I think those mistakes are why I lost. He was I like the way he played it. He didn't make 2 full bases of saturation. He got a fully saturated 1 base, is actually 3 workers oversaturated, and then just a tiny smattering of income on the 2nd base. And he never made more workers until after the fight. So I think that's the right way to play Protoss. I think what he did was really good. I still think I should have beat him, but I do think that this was a good thing for him to do. And he did it well, and all that jazz. You know, that jazz. Yeah, so I came back with another couple pushes just because why leave, but it was definitely over.